What's up, peoples? It's your boy MM2K, and I'm back with your boy TRS, the Fusion Wolf. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Return of the Fusion Wolf. Glad to be back. I knew there was a big war going on, so we had to handle that. Everything's good. Copacetic. Who say that? EPMD? Copacetic.
Copacetic, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
rampage. Yeah, we had to do a little rampage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all
I'm just
good.
glad to be back, man.
It's good, man. Yeah, we deeply apologize for those that have been following the pilot podcast. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to make some upgrades to the site. You'll see some things going on too. Try to make some upgrades to the podcast. We're going to have our theme music again and all other stuff. For those that have been followers of the pilot podcast, and what we're going to do too is TRS now has he has it, but it's not complete. He will have a fully fleshed out YouTube channel, and what we're going to do for now is we're going to have all the pilots on the YouTube channel, and we're going to run the live episodes of ScramPunks straight from my YouTube channel for now, but eventually we'll have additional plans for that, and we'll get into all that. But what is up, everybody? The first official episode of ScramPunks, yo. It's been a long time in the making, you know. So I'm proud of this day. I'm happy for it, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna talk these video games. Before I get into the spiel and try to tell y'all what we all about for the new listeners, you know what I'm saying? TRS, I'm gonna turn the mic over to you. Is there anything you would like to say to the people that have been following us, or some of the new people first, man?
You know what? That is correct, man. There are some new people on here now. I just want to let you guys know that as far as the yin and the yang on this show, I am the young. I am the one.
The unseen element.
Yeah, and for those of you who have not seen me do any damage, because I'm sure most of the history is of the Mighty Mo's doing the damage, I am TRS, the Fusion Wolf, and basically my main slogan is, I just want a good game.
Yep.
So that's basically what you're going to hear from me. You're not going to hear a lot of the in-depth stuff because I'm not really that smart. But what you're going to hear is the actual, you know, in-depth things about as far as PvP, different games that are coming out, my opinions on them, and my samples of games that are just coming out right now, and some of your girlfriends.
Some of your mammies. No. No, all right. So no doubt. So this is what we try to do here, because I know y'all know, for most of y'all recognize me from the Broadband Bullies podcast with the Godfather Z, you know what I'm saying, rocking it. We had a great show last night. We talked about a lot of good things, and we talked about something there last night that I want to get into later, you know what I mean, that I think is very important. But, you know, we try to do a little bit different here. I know we may or may not get a lot of live listeners, and that's fine. That's okay, because we're going to have the each podcast will be available on the website, the pntsnetwork.com website. You should see it scrolling at the top and scrolling at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Hit us up in all types of places, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, we do got a Skype line that we haven't activated yet, but we will soon. And here's the basic MO of what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, we don't necessarily get into the console war here, you know what I mean? Because what we are, we're older gamers. That's why the show was called ScramPunks. You know what I mean? Like, to the younger generation, that's all about superficial things to us, you know, as far as gaming, like, you know, oversaturated stories and cinematics, all of this stuff. To us, it does not matter here on this podcast what console you game on. Like, you know what I'm saying? I am an Xbox enthusiast. TRS currently has an Xbox. He games primarily on his Xbox, but he converted over from PlayStation. And if we can get Rip Van Wallace on the goddamn show, you know what I'm saying? He's the PlayStation enthusiast, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have a variety of people on here, and we don't do console wars. What we basically do is we will correct wrongs. Like, if somebody just gets over the top, you know, Xbox is dog trash, you know, trash and all this other, and Sony just, you know, Sony's this and all that other stuff. If somebody just gets too overzealous, we're going to check them. But everybody, like Keith Murray said, everybody's welcome. Okay?
Right.
Everybody's welcome here. You know, Xbox ponies, Nintendo weirdos, as they call them, wherever you are, you're welcome to interject in this podcast. You're welcome to join us and talk about gaming, because our thing isn't the console war. Our thing is like TRS said, good games, and we're old school gamers, and we're bringing you a gaming perspective from old school gamers, like from the ColecoVision days. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the point of perspective that you can respect, or you're interested in listening to, or you can relate to, this is the show for you. You know what I'm saying? Did I cover that well, TRS?
Yeah, man, definitely. You definitely did. Pretty much we're coming from the world of the old heads, you know, the people that are just trying to find a good game, just trying to see what's going to be what would the X used to say, conducive. So many syllables. Conducive with the way that you actually want to play, and you just want a good game, kind of like reading a book. You're very entertained by it. You're not trying to battle with, oh, this person has these many megs and these many megs. No, is it a good game?
Exactly.
That's all we want to know. It doesn't have a nice plot. It doesn't have replay value. That's pretty much where we're coming from with that. But we do go in depth about some things that people are doing that tend to not be conducive with what's going on with the next coming consoles, the coming games, and whatnot like that. There, we're going to go into that. You stay tuned.
All right. Did somebody fall in the background? Everybody okay, man?
I got this new gamer chair, right? That I just got from this beautiful old lady. Shout out to Miss Ola. She gave me this rocking chair, and if you can hear in the background, every now and then it does this real creepy, conjuring kind of creep.
Conjuring.
You know what I mean? So I do apologize for that. I'm trying to keep it still. I'm kind of fat.
It's possessing your man Twitter. Okay.
It's possessing all kinds of man Twitter. All kinds.
All kinds. All right, y'all. So before we get into the games, I do want to say one more thing. You know what I mean? Like another thing that we're real big on too is, like I said, everybody's welcome. We're not one of those podcasts that want you to agree with our opinions. That's why the chat is open. Now we know this is a crowded day, and we're not here to compete with anybody. Like I said, we may not have a lot of followers live, but you can always find the podcast on Twitter. No, not Twitter. God damn it. Twitch. Where else? You can find it on Twitch. You can find the podcast on Mixer.
We still have Mixer? Yeah,
we got Mixer, and you're going to find it on the website too. You know what I'm saying? So what we're looking to do is invite everybody to the discussion. We want to hear your thoughts, and it is coming from a perspective of games. There's no console war stuff. All right. So with that said, let's get the show on the road. Okay. So I'm going to start it off by talking about something that man was a real big discussion, because if you've been following our pilot podcast, me and TRS was talking about how the Xbox One X was something that I know I was getting, but something that he really wasn't, you know what I'm saying, getting into, because he's not a graphics whore. You know what I'm saying? He just wants the games. And me and TRS had a discussion about even upgrading from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One. Because let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? If you're old school gamers like us, and you're looking for gameplay, you're looking for that killer gameplay, all right? You got to be honest. This generation has been lacking in those real those real, what's the word I'm looking for, man?
What you say, eye candy?
Yeah, not just necessarily eye candy, but those real defining games. You know what I'm saying? Now, people may say, oh, man, Uncharted 4 or Gears of War 4. No. That's the same old cookie stuff that we had from last generation. And some people may say Horizon Zero Dawn. Look, you know your boy personally, this is no console war stuff. Horizon Zero Dawn is Tomb Raider with Dinobots with the Fred Flintstone aesthetic put on top. So let's stop that madness. Let's stop that foolishness. We're talking about Mass Effects. We're talking about BioShocks, you know what I'm saying? Whatever else may be out there. Now, I know Destiny was a big thing, you know what I'm saying, but that wasn't necessarily what we were expecting. I know it has a lot of draw and stuff like that and a lot of pull to people, but it wasn't what we was expecting. Nevertheless, what I'm talking about is those genre-defining games, period. We really haven't seen it this generation, really, from anybody. It's been set up that way. It's been set up that way because coming into this generation, okay. And I remember, if you a gaming nerd like us, reading your Game Informers and all other stuff, everybody was talking about Unreal Engine. That's all they weren't talking about
everything.
Exactly.
Yep.
They weren't talking about the most innovative title with the new game mechanics and all the other stuff. They weren't talking about that. They were talking about facial features, facial animations. I remember, okay, they was talking about Unreal Engine, and then PlayStation or Sony came out with their engine that they were using for Uncharted 4, you know what I'm saying? They were showing the face. It was all about animations, polygons, compute units, all that stuff. Nobody was talking about game mechanics, gameplay, innovative. It was cinematics. We hire more actors, you know what I'm saying? We got John Belushi coming on this time. You know what I'm saying? They was talking that silly stuff, but nothing about innovative gameplay mechanics. So it's really not a shocker. So when we came into this generation, and you picked up your Xbox One, and you picked up your PlayStation 4, it was just more fleshed out versions of games that you played last generation. There was really nothing groundbreaking. That's what I'm looking for. It was really nothing groundbreaking. So the Xbox One X comes out, okay? And the PlayStation 4 Pro was already out. Now, again, no fanboy stuff. I got the PlayStation 4 Pro. I hooked it up. I personally was disappointed in the graphical output because it wasn't what I was expecting, especially for $400. I had the Xbox One S around the same time. That, to me, was a little bit more on par with the Pro, but the Xbox One S is like $200, $250. It's a discussion that me and TRS had. He was like, yo, I'm not a graphics whore. You go pick up that Xbox One X all you want. You know what I'm saying? And you let me know how that works out for you, Chief. And I went and I picked yeah, Chief. You let me know how that works out for you. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I picked it up and I was hella impressed, man. I was hella impressed. Gears 4 on that thing, man. The best looking game on a console I've ever seen in my life. And I had Horizon Zero Dawn. Y'all saw me trying to play that damn thing. I had Horizon Zero Dawn. That looked good. That looked good. You know what I'm saying? But there's no comparison. I'm sorry. People have to stop that. And again, it's no console war. It's just the reality of it. The Xbox One X, as far as the console is concerned, has the best looking games out there. These games look phenomenal. It ain't even about what the competition is doing. It's just that these games look phenomenal on the Xbox One X. So to me, being how I just traded in some stuff to go get it, and I really didn't pay no cash for it, it was worth the purchase. Even though you didn't pick one up, TRS, I would, you know, of course we opine on your thoughts, brother. What are your thoughts about the Xbox One X?
The main thing about the Xbox One X for me, it's gonna be, let's keep it real. I'm gonna get one.
Okay.
But I'm not, like you said, I'm not really a graphics whore to the point where you're gonna see me, you know, pay a car payment to get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there's some kind of swindle, yeah, that's pretty much cool. But I see what you're saying, especially with the shooters. When you're saying that there hasn't been anything that's been kind of revolutionary.
Yeah.
The last time there was anything like that, there was like a field of Call of Duty remixes and remakes, and then all of a sudden, boom, BioShock.
Yeah, yeah.
That just blew the frame. You know, exactly. It was something nobody was. There hasn't been anything really like that yet. Destiny came close, but only because it had the RPG elements. But there wasn't. There's nothing yet that has come out of the darkness like that. I'm having some hope in Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
I haven't played the first one, but I did just download the demo for the second one. I know you said the first one was defined, you know, so I want to get that, and I definitely want to get into this demo for this second one. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get the system, but it's going to be the same situation. Well, you know what? That's debatable, because this transition from Xbox One to Xbox One X, from what you're saying, is a major difference from 360 to Xbox One.
Yep. Definitely.
This is what gears me more.
Yeah.
To actually check out the Xbox One, because not only will it have the graphics, not only will it feel probably a lot better as far as with the joysticks and whatnot, but also the new series of sequels and games and whatnot are going to be coming on that.
Yeah.
And I may not be a graphics whore, but I'm always trying to keep up, and that's why I have an Xbox One now. So yeah, I'll definitely get it, but I'm definitely checking out that Wolfenstein. That might be. I'm hoping it might be the next BioShock. That's asking for too much, but it's Wolfenstein. It does have that kind of potential. So
yep,
that's how I feel about that. I'm going to stay with the consoles upgrades. but something's telling me on the inside, maybe I should stop after Xbox One X or whatever version 2 comes out in the next 8 years. You know what I mean? Something like that. But yeah, I'm definitely game to see what that's capable of.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to the Xbox One X, as far as graphics, and then it has, has the options for the more stable frame rates and all that other stuff. And frame rate is a big thing. Like, we talked about this a lot in our pilot podcast. So definitely, when I go to the PNTSnetwork.com, check out this pilot podcast. There's more for me to post up too. I'm still kind of stop being so goddamn lazy. But go to the PNTSnetwork.com, look at the pilot podcast. In addition, go to pretty soon you'll be able to go to TRS's site, look at the pilot podcast. We talked a lot about frame rates and how important those are to the overall visuals.
That's that's what's got me. Not so much the graphics, but if you give me some beast frame rates, that don't keep in mind, that's what gets me, man. Frame rate, man.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Like, when I put together my first PC primarily for gaming, and I played BioShock Infinite on it, and I played it was like 60 frames per second, I believe it was, on there.
Right.
Man,
you see a major difference.
And to me, BioShock Infinite is garbage. That's the worst BioShock of the 3.
Right.
But what kept me playing it was just that experience. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the end of the day, I'm still going to say that BioShock Infinite is trash, but that experience at that 60 frames per second, just to play that on a good game, if it was good enough to keep me interested on a garbage game, just imagine what wonders it'll do for a good game. So,
yep.
For the Xbox One X to have more stable frame rates, they're not quite 60 for everything, or at a constant 60, but you can notice the frame rate difference, and it does make a big difference, and that stuff just makes the game looks a lot smoother. So, if I were to break up the game consoles, I would do it like this. If you are looking for, well, first and foremost, it depends on where your friends are at. To me, it depends on where your friend. This is why I picked the Xbox system. My friends are there. I prefer the controls. I like the multiplayer ecosystem, and I particularly prefer the style of games that Microsoft goes after as far as exclusives. Right. I'm a multi-plat gamer. Like, I put my faith in Bethesda. You know what I'm saying? I put my faith in Bethesda and BioWare. Sony or Microsoft can't do chicken shit. Excuse me, Nichols. And that's the running thing. You got to check the pilot podcast, Nichols.
Oh, yeah.
They can't do chicken shit for me when it comes to grabbing my attention all like that for games. Sorry. I cannot remember. I'm going to be honest with you. I cannot remember the last exclusive, like first-party exclusive, like developed there at the company, that really grabbed my attention from either one of them. Probably since the PlayStation 2 Xbox days. I can't remember anything. Even if then. It's always been the third-party or second-party games, the games that were developed by a third party, but they just happen to be on one system. You know what I mean? Those are the games that have always done it for me. But to be able to play these multiplayer games like this with the good frames per second and all that other stuff, and playing with my friends when I want to, if I'm playing multiplayer, or playing with the control mechanism that I like, you know what I'm saying? I would prefer the Xbox One S if you're looking for that. If you have a 4K TV, but you don't want to shell out the $500 for the Xbox One X, the Xbox One S, as in Sam, does a very good 4K upscale. Like games like even Mass Effect Andromeda look beautiful on that system. I could not believe how that game looked on that system. But if the same applies to you for the PlayStation, like if you like the controls for the PlayStation, you like their exclusives, you like your friends list and all that stuff, then get the PlayStation 4 Slim. Now, this is where I segment off, where if you're more of a graphics buff and a performance buff and you want to experience those 4K textures and all other stuff and you want enhanced graphics, if you're an Xbox person, I highly recommend that you go get the Xbox One X. For the PlayStation people, I highly recommend that you just keep your PlayStation 4 Slim. Digital Foundry tells you themselves that the PlayStation 4 Pro is too inconsistent because of the hardware to give you the results that you're looking for $400. This isn't from me. This is not no fanboy stuff. I'm not, you know, waving no flag anywhere. I'm just letting you know, if you prefer the PlayStation 4 ecosystem, then stick with your PlayStation 4 Slim. It's a hell of a system. Even though I prefer the Xbox console, it's still a hell of a system. There was a phenomenal Black Friday deal out there for $199. You know, hopefully you took advantage of that. If you didn't, you know what I'm saying? But as an owner of the Pro, you're not going to get that upscale that you were looking for consistently, like Digital Foundry said. You know what I'm saying? So those are my thoughts. If you want some good performance and stuff like that, you know, your base systems, your S's and your PlayStation 4 Slims are good enough. However, if you want a full 4K upgrade or graphical upgrade, yes, go to the X. But on the PlayStation side, just stay with your Slim. Just stay with your Slim. You know what I'm saying? So those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts on that, TRS?
My only thing about it that might change, excuse me, might change the perspective of things is, even though when is it going to come to the point where the new consoles are going to hoard all the inventory of what's coming out? That's the only thing I'm worried about. Like, even if I have a system from this gen that's pretty decent, it satisfies you graphic wise as much as the next console, like the Xbox One X. When is it going to get to the point where they're going to start slowing down on the inventory of what comes out for the Xbox One and start like going blast and all the inventory, all the sequels, everything coming out on the Xbox One X? Is that something that might happen eventually, the same way it did with 360 and Xbox One?
Well,
or PS4 and 3. You know what I mean?
Well, the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pros are the first full upgrade mid-generation consoles. And what I mean by that is they are the first consoles that, you know, in previous generations, primarily by Sony, you know how Sony always comes out with its original console and then it comes out with a sleeker version. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the first time Microsoft did that was last generation. Because if you remember the first generation that Microsoft came out, you just had that big-ass bricky Xbox, and you kept that the whole generation. You know what I'm saying? There really wasn't any upgrade system to that where the PlayStation 4, I mean, the PlayStation 2 came out with the Slim version, all of the stuff. Then Microsoft followed suit last generation. They came up with the Slim version of the 360, you know, because they had to make the upgrades to the system because of the red ring of death and all other stuff.
Right.
This generation, what both companies did is they said, we're not just going to come out with slim versions, but we're going to come out with more powerful versions. Now, here's where Sony kind of stumbled. Well, they stumbled. There's no way around it. They stumbled because their message was muddy and why the Pro isn't doing well. They said that Andrew House, who is now gone, rest in peace, he's as far as his work is concerned.
Right.
Andrew House said that this console was built to stop people who, during the middle of a console generation, tend to go PC. And those people do exist. Like, I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And TRS can vouch for it. Like, I was like, man, you still gonna play that 360? Man, get the hell out of here. I'm playing. I was just primarily playing my Steam games on my PC. Right. You know what I'm saying? There are people that do that. Like, mid-generation, they're like, man, I'm really, you know, I want more. I want more power. And then they'll leave and they'll go to the PC. And he said that the PlayStation 4 Pro was made to stop that. And that wasn't true. That was like an added bonus, a cherry on top that they tried to advertise, but it didn't work well. But the purpose of the PlayStation 4 Pro was to give you PlayStation VR. PlayStation VR, unfortunately, was something that Sony went all in on, thinking that it was going to be bigger than what it was. and PlayStation VR ended up, let's be honest, it's a flop. It's a flop because, not to say that VR ain't cool or anything like that, but it's too expensive for one, and for two, there is no killer app on there. Like, nobody's running down the street saying, oh, I mean, there's people saying, oh, you got to play Uncharted 4. Oh, you got to play Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh, you got to see Gears on Xbox One X. Who is running down the street all like that telling you that you got to get your hands on any VR game? They just tell you that the experience is cool, but when it comes down to, well, should I shell out $400 or $500 for this? Everybody shuts the hell up. You know what I'm saying? That was PlayStation's problem, is that they created a more powerful system for VR because they were going all in on VR. However, when they found out that the Xbox One X was coming out, then they tried to change the message a little bit. Well, this is a more powerful machine, and you're going to get better this and better that, and it just wasn't powerful enough to really deliver the way they advertised it. So to answer your question, TRS, you know, not to take forever, but to answer your question, all Microsoft did is they created a more powerful Xbox One.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
they said themselves that their preference right now is they're going to go to developers and say, any game that you make on the Xbox One X, it has to be playable on any of the previous Xbox Ones. It's just like a PC game. You know, let's say if you got a top of the line PC, but I have a lower of the line PC, you know, with shitty parts or whatever, you're going to be able to run the game at ultra settings and stuff like that, 60 frames per second, where I'm going to have to run it at medium at 30 frames per second. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you'll be able to play the same games on any system that you got. It's just that it's going to perform the best on the X. That's the way they said it's going to be designed.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
And it's easy to do that because of the architecture of the programming and the dev kit. Like the dev kit that they're giving to these developers, they basically just scale down the settings. They're saying that this thing is so easy. Like, there are people that are upscaling stuff now, and they're doing it in like 3 days. You know, developers are doing this in 3 days or even a couple of hours. They said that's how easy the dev kits are with the system. So, yeah, you're gonna see. I think it's gonna be a while, unless the game is like super powerful and it's super long. You know what I'm saying? And I would welcome that because I want to see some innovative stuff. I don't want to keep seeing the same stuff over and over again. But what they are doing right now, coming out of the gate, is they're saying that all games have to be playable on the entire family. So. Okay, got it. So that's my experience with the One X. And I'm probably later on I'm gonna stream some. I don't know what. Oh yeah, I know which game I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna stream a game later on, for people to check out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it'll stream right. You can see some of them textures. But on to the next thing. Hey yo, so you got any articles? Let me just share with the people too that are new to this and what we do here. Our format is a little different. There is no one person that creates the agenda. We have a format where I bring some stuff to the table, TRS brings some stuff to the table, and then Rip Van Wallace, aka Killer Hill, when he becomes available, he'll bring some stuff to the table, and we'll talk about it. So we go back and forth here. So is there anything that you want to bring to the table, TRS?
Basically not right now. Eventually I will have a public service message. This was some weird stuff that happened to me last weekend that I'll actually comment about.
Oh, okay. Oh, man, you all right? Yeah. Is your man Twitter all right, man?
Very, very sensual.
Hide your wife, nigga.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
All right, so well, next on the list is what do I have here? I got damn, where the hell did I put my Black Friday. No. Before we get into Black Friday, no. I want to talk right now. I want to talk this Battlefront 2 thing, man. So I'm going to tell y'all what's going on if you've been under a rock and talk about this current situation. And then TRS actually has more experience with the actual game than I do. So I want him to share his experience, and then we're gonna talk about how we feel about this whole kit and caboodle. Okay. So if you haven't noticed, Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, is under a cloud right now of just, it's getting hammered because people are upset about the whole loot box situation. Now, if you're not familiar with that, again, if you're under a rock, here's what's going on. The loot boxes in the game were allowed you to, like, if you were well, here's the problem. The loot boxes, you could purchase them, okay? And if you purchase a loot box, you know, it wasn't just like articles of clothing or anything like that, a scarf or a hat. It was, you know, boosts to your abilities and stuff like that. And people were complaining because they said this was pay to win. And they didn't like that. And so therefore, there was a big petition of people boycotting the game and all this silly stuff. And then you had a couple of territories, which included Belgium and Hawaii, the state of Hawaii, did a press conference and said they now deem the loot boxes and Battlefront, or any type of loot box, to be considered gambling. Because in their mind, if you pay money for a loot box, you're paying money to get something. You don't actually get what you're paying for. You know, like you're not paying for straight up for a hat or a scarf or whatever. Their thought is you're gambling because you don't know what you're going to get. So because you don't know what you're going to get, they consider it gambling, and now there's all types of gambling regulatory things that would have to happen, particularly because you have Hawaii doing this, and then other states might follow. So because of that, there's been a lot of bad press, and EA's stock has gone down. It's been so bad. What's up, Garrett? The stock has gone down $3 billion for EA. We do got a follower. We got a broadband bully in here. We got a celebrity. I know he hates when I say that. What's up, G? Is that you at work, bro? I know you at work, man. Killing them out there. Oh man, something is wrong with my chat because it's oh, okay, no, it's working now. So that's what's going on, TRS. Again, they're hammering it. They consider it gambling, and because they consider it gambling, yeah, I mean, other states are going to follow suit. They're going to follow suit, and they're going to say, "Yo, yeah, we consider this gambling too." And I wanted to get your thoughts, TRS, on the whole situation, and give us your experience with the game because, well, I'll let you go first, and I'll put my 2 cents in.
Well, I mean, the thing with me, my experience with it was on the demo. So it was before I wasn't even aware of the loot boxes and how prominent they were. I knew of them, that they were coming, but I didn't know that it was going to be, you know, a travesty or some kind of big news report, you know, and be considered gambling and things like that. As far as the microtransactions, we talked about this before. I don't have a problem personally with microtransactions, with the exception of this is a perfect example right here. And you may disagree with this, but I'm not into the whole you can beat me because you bought something that I couldn't afford, or it's not a drop or something like that. You know, that's something that I would have a problem with, me personally, as a gamer. If I can't get it on a drop, but you can buy it and just slaughter me, and otherwise I would be destroying you. That's kind of, you know, you might almost take that personal, man. You know, like, wait a minute, you paid $20 and you got the destroy TRS. You got destroy TRS token. I'm still waiting for the shield TRS armor.
Yeah.
You know, that's wow. This is a perfect example of a disagreement that I have with microtransactions, but otherwise, I like them, man. I mean, you give me a microtransaction and give me a gun that can be a drop, but I just want it, or like Elder Scrolls, I want that cat with the 2 heads, and the microphone in his mouth. You know what I mean? I want, that's cool just for appearance and stuff like that. But to pay money, what if I didn't have the money and you're just slaughtering me because I'm broke?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than a broke loser, man. That's
Yeah.
and then we have a lot of them in this vicinity.
Yeah.
Just to keep in mind.
I got you. Oh no, I know, cause look, we used to talk about F-Boy all the time. You know what I'm saying? That you would come to the crib and be like, man, I can beat this game, and he put all the games on easy and beat them and shit, and then thought he was doing something. Those are the type of would sitting there with his SSI check, buying games every 5 minutes. Those are the type of cats that will drop the $20. You know what I'm saying? And go get the crown of Helgor and slap you silly with it. That part of it, I totally agree. We need to clamp down on people or developers that are too heavy-handed in their microtransactions. My thing is that I think gamers went a little bit too far because now y'all got the government involved, and this shit always makes me nickels. This stuff always makes me nervous because it always gives me PTSD and flashes my ass back to Mass Effect 3. When Muggs was sitting there signing petitions to sue EA and everybody because they didn't like the ending clips of the goddamn game. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it to say, look, EA, the way you're handling microtransactions is horrible. You know what I mean? However, to sit there and say all microtransactions should be loot boxes and all that other stuff, and my man, the celebrity that's watching right now, he hates it. No, my Triple B brother Garrett, you know what I'm saying? He said it himself in one of those videos that he doesn't necessarily feel bad for EA. In one of his good videos, he don't feel bad for them, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? It's all this stuff is overshadowing a good game. Like, to him, the game is real good. You know what I mean? So. Man, what's going on? Oh, damn, Triple B is just taking over. What's going on, peoples? What's up? So that's his problem. His problem was that it's overshadowing a good game. And
I agree with that.
And my thought was the same thing with Mass Effect. Like, you had people going to sending letters to the Prime Minister, and they opened up lawsuits to sue BioWare over what? Because the ending clips were not what you would like them to be. You didn't develop the goddamn game. So you know what I'm saying? Just don't buy the next game. You know what I'm saying? Here goes man. I said, you know what? See, we just did Masters like, yo, EA needed their ass, needed a kick in the ass. And I agree with that. What they tried to do was shiesty. But I think it's an overreach for gamers to sit there and say we're going to shit on all loot boxes. Because here's what's going to happen. Instead of just checking EA in these greedy mugs, now loot boxes go away, right?
That's what I was getting ready to say. Yep. And that's messed up. I mean, because there's different sides to that. There's different. So every time you go at a production company or a game creator like that, and you're upset because they're using the red leaves instead of the green leaves, you usually end up with no leaves.
Exactly.
You know, and now all of a sudden you don't like the game because you don't have any kind of advantages that you can actually master or anything like that. Well, you were the one complaining about mastery.
Yep.
So now it's gone. You're all the same.
And here's my thing, and this is, and I'm fine if well, let me say this. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Oh shit. All right. So I'm fine. I went and got me a 4K TV. I went and found a way. You know what I'm saying? They call me Black J. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always finding deals. I'm paying pennies on the dollar for deals. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to find a way to get a game at a discount. Okay.
Right.
But my thing is for people like TRS. You know what I'm saying? That ain't trying to shell out $1,000 and play a game and get beaten in the head with a cash register. What you going to do? Mini childs. They don't know nothing about that.
That's messed up, man. Mini childs.
Don't know nothing about that Milo in the dance. Anyway, someone like TRS is not trying to pay $80 or $90 for a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what position are you in now? Because you're smothering all of their pay. Look, here's the thing. In TRS, you can relate. I've been waiting so much. See, you don't understand, bro. I've been waiting so long to do this podcast. All right, so remember back in the day, back in the 90s when we had the Tandy 1000. Remember that shit, yo?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
The Tandy 1000. And remember when we went to go get King's Quest? Remember when you went to go pick that up, yo?
Yeah.
Now, King's Quest back then was $45. Back then, that was like, what, 92, 93?
Yeah.
If not earlier.
It was a little bit earlier, yeah.
Yeah, King's, 89 maybe. You know what I'm saying? King's Quest was like around $45. All right. We went to Electronic Boutique, which turned into EB Games. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Which turned into EB Games, which turned into, which got gobbled by GameStop. All right. That was back then because, and that was like almost 30 years ago, that game was $45. Now, 30 years since back then, games have not just, everything in the world hasn't just gone up 25%. This is a 25% increase on games right now from $45 to $60, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything has doubled in quantity. Everything is gone, you know, so something that was normally $45 back then is around $90 right now. Analysts are saying that we should be paying around 80. I think that if you look at PC Gamer's article, they're saying it should be anywhere between 80 to 90 if you do the math. $80 to $90 right now that you should be paying for these games, okay? So because of that, we're really getting a discount on games. And they know how fickle we are as consumers. Like, when they went up to $60, they knew we was humbling and grumbling. You know what I mean? So they tried to implement things like these loot boxes. If you take away these loot boxes, because what they tried to do before is, remember, they tried to do the $10. If you bought the game used, you had to pay $10 to go online. Remember that?
Yeah.
Last generation. And that didn't work because we grumbled over that. They're not, and then y'all grumbled over what Microsoft tried to do. Microsoft tried to implement that DRM where, you know, you would, every time, you know, you would still be able to trade your games, but after so many times, you know what I'm saying, you would have to pay for it, and that way the developers can get a chunk of the purchase game, you know, or the resold game or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But every step of the way, we keep choking off other revenue streams. And these are Fortune 500 companies. Like, eventually, what else are they going to do but raise the price? Okay, you know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on that, TRS? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with curb stomping EA about what they did, but the overreach, to me, it's overreach. Pushing this and doing petitions and being happy and clapping that government forces are saying, yay, these are loot boxes. We hate video games anyway, so let's regulate them even more. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I actually wouldn't have had, as much as I disagree with the way that they did it, I wouldn't have had a problem taking some cake and just dealing with those fat loot boxes. You know what I mean? Because I know eventually, ultimately, these companies are about, the main goal from the grassroots is to make the money.
Yep.
And it's not so much to satisfy you. If I happen to satisfy you while I make the money, that's what's up. I just discovered a concept to keep going with.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But the ultimate goal was to make the money. So like you said, if one part of it gets died down, another part of it is going to become too much.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If I can't do this for you guys, then I'm going to do this.
Exactly.
You can't complain about that because I got rid of that. You know, they're always going to, we're talking about businesses here, man. So, and their main goal is, let's make the cake. so if you don't like the loot boxes, something else is going to come up. Elder Scrolls was a perfect example. They got rid of the monthly thing because it did seem kind of unfair to people who love Elder Scrolls. But then what came was with damn near everything you want that looks fire, you got to pay for it. You know what I mean? Different DLCs, you know, weapons, certain pets, things like that. That ended up becoming the mainstream of money that they were going to get, and it's working because you really can't complain about it because you're not paying monthly anymore. So I don't know if that was pretty much the answer you were looking for, but I do understand that that's pretty much how business is. They're not out here to make you feel wonderful. I mean, just I've done customer service jobs where these people that actually call in actually think, oh, you're here to help me.
Yeah.
No, we're here to make money while giving you the illusion you're getting some help. When actually all you're doing is being coddled into the stupidity necessary for you to continue to make us money. That's pretty much what it is. We're going to make the money. So, you know, hey, it is what it is, you know?
No, I know. I totally agree.
Shout out to Rip Van Wallace for his support.
You know what I'm saying? I wish I still had the little live meme with the dude falling over the railing, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, we're trying to be multifaceted. Yo, PlayStation people, come on board, man. Just hit me up. You know what I'm saying? You want to get into this conversation. Like I said, this is not the typical console war conversation. We do it up. We focus more on the games and the innovation or lack thereof. That's what we focus on here. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Everything you said is absolutely correct. I can't disagree at all. Because here's what I think has happened to these new gamers. And this is why I said these mugs need us old gamers to keep them in check. From the very beginning, it's always been about making money. Okay? When you're a company. However, the companies that weren't super focused on making money were the little small individual developers, you know what I'm saying, that just did enough to get by. You know what I mean? They weren't super rich in their Maseratis or whatever, you know what I mean? And they made great games. However, gaming now makes more money than movies. For instance, Call of Duty, this one that just came out, made more money than Wonder Woman and Thor combined. Okay? In the first week that it released. It made more money than they did combined. Gaming is under the microscope. Gaming is being very invested into in the stock market. Your idealistic rate of return is 12%. So no longer are those days where, you know, okay, King's Quest was $45 back in '89 and you've only gone up 25% when the rest of inflation is up 100%, you know what I'm saying, within 30 years. Those days are gone. Games have to make money. They understand that their consumers are very fickle, but you got to be smarter than this. You can't just think that. You got to understand where these developers are at now. Look, y'all are the ones that asked for all these goddamn compute units and Robotniks and all this shit. I don't understand. Look, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand where y'all don't. Y'all can't follow this. Y'all wanted this shit. When these mugs was sitting there in Game Informer and they was like, yo, look at his face. Look at Nathan Drake's face as he blinks. And that's all. They had 8 or 9 pages of that. How come nobody said, yo, why ain't y'all talking about the new game and the new gaming mechanic out here? Y'all asked for this shit. When they came out with the Unreal Engine 4, and then they told you, look, this ain't going to make things easier. It just gives you more options. That means that you got to hire more developers to work on this shit. That's more money, more money, more money. When all this was coming down the pipe, why ain't y'all open your mouth then? Start being proactive instead of being reactive. Y'all had an opportunity to cut this at the past then and say, oh, it's great, we're going to get better graphics, but what about the better, like, overall experience? Where's that at? You know what I'm saying? And by y'all not focusing on that, everybody's focused on the graphics, the screenwriters, the directors, all this other superficial shit, and these games are super hell expensive to make right now. And again, these are Fortune 500 companies, like TRS said. They're out to make money and give you the illusion that they care about you when they really care about the investors, okay? That's who they care about. That's their #1 focus. The reason why EA had to turn ship is because it was looking bad for their investors. And then, you know, Walt Disney too jumped in and said, yo, you got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to change this a little bit. But that's who first and foremost. Any Fortune 500 company, what they do is they try to leave you in a fog and make you feel happy enough with their product so they can keep just giving you the assembly line approach, assembly line approach, assembly line approach. So then they can go to their investors and say, look, we got these mugs on the hook. They love this shit. Invest in us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give you a good rate of return. That's it. I'm sorry. That's the way that it is. It happens no other way.
It bees like that sometimes.
You can't control the rhyme.
Oh, the rhyme.
I'm sorry. And as I always say this, y'all is the smartest group of consumers out here. Yeah, man, if you do this and you put in this code and you go into the DOS mode, you can do this and do that. Y'all the smartest bugs out here. But when it comes to consumer-based and retail and investment, y'all the dumbest bugs out here. It's so goddamn stupid. Come on. Stop it. Tired of this shit. God damn it. I can't stand the back of
it does hurt, man.
I can't stand I don't like the back of Forrest Whitaker's neck. Shit. This bugs is driving me. Man, I'm serious. So now I want to see these faces. I want to see these faces. When they say, okay, games is now going up to $80.
Real faces.
Real faces. I want to see these real faces. When they're like, these games is going up to $80. What y'all gonna do then? Oh man, that's sourpuss, man. I can't believe this is fucked up. Yeah. So again, don't go from one end of the pendulum to the other. Balance your shit, yo. Balance it. EA, you getting a little heavy-handed. We're not gonna buy your game. Bring it down a little bit. You know that Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, how you got that shit there? Yeah, come at that angle. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a pay to win, it was a pay to survive. If you weren't good in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, it don't matter what you bought. You were still getting hammered. You know what I'm saying? So if your skills weren't up to par, then you had to buy health packs and things to boost you up a little bit to help you survive. But it wasn't where if TRS was killer in the game, I could buy $1,000 worth of stuff. If I'm not as good as TRS, it ain't gonna do nothing but keep me in the game a little bit longer.
That's different though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's different.
But EA was behind BioWare when they crafted that. EA just got greedy this time, and it was our job to go to EA and say, okay, we get the fact that there's loot crates and microtransactions and why they need to exist, but we ain't digging this right here. Stop this right here. Not go sign petitions, go walking with Al Sharpton and shit, and do all this little silly stuff, and then now you got Hawaii and Belgium. How the fuck Belgium get into this? Get Belgium to sit there. I'm sorry, Nichols. Damn, man. We ain't never gonna get no sponsors. But I'm just saying, I don't, to get Belgium to sit there and say, yo, these are now considered loot crates. Hawaii did a press conference. Hawaii did a press conference to talk over all this. Look, they just arrested that dude.
Cootie Pie.
No, he gonna get it in the man Twitter. They gonna find that dude. No. Representative Yee. Yee.
Yeetie pie.
Yeah, man, yeah, Yeeties.
Yeetie pie.
We gonna get that mug in the Yeeties. No, man, look, here's the deal. All right. Representative Yee from California. Remember, I don't know if you remember that dude. This dude,
yeah, I remember.
He was the one that was, on the anti-game kick. You know what I mean? And he was on the one about, remember when Grand Theft Auto had that hot coffee thing?
Yeah.
Where you could do it, I guess, missionary style in the back of somebody's oven or something like that. There was a code for that. He was all over that. Come to find out, this dude was selling AK-47s to the Mexicans over the border, and it was crazy. It was like he was real life GTA. But let's just say if he wasn't real life GTA, that dude was coming on strong against gaming, trying to ban this and ban that and ban all this other stuff. Okay. What if he was successful? Yeah. Don't you think that would make games riskier, and therefore, because you can't appeal to the masses and have the action in games, that's going to you're going to lose appeal, and then because you're losing appeal, you're losing consumer base, and because you're losing consumer base, you're losing revenue, and because you're losing revenue, guess what? You got to increase the cost. As cost is supply and demand, that these motherfuckers go to school. It's supply and demand. As demand goes up, you know what I'm saying? Then, prices can go down until supply goes down. And when supply goes down, then, supply has to go up. But we're talking about games here. You can get them digitally now, so you ain't got to worry about supply. The fact of the matter is that if the demand is high, You know what I'm saying? And people are paying that base price, then we can keep the money in check. But if they're sitting there regulating this and having press conferences about this loot box and then this element is gambling and that element is gambling, games are going to be considered risky. And because they're going to be considered risky, the business insurances are going to go up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, big up to my man Xbox Juice, the CEO. Triple B's up in here. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. And we're going to pay more. So all I'm saying, people, as my man Xbox Juice would tell you, the CEO, get y'all business hats on, man. Don't go from one pendulum into the pendulum to the other. Balance your shit. Balance it. Yo, EA, we know you some grimy dudes. Do not try to do this with Boba Fett. Did I say that right? Do not do this with Boba Fett where he's invincible for 75 hours or whatever the hell they was trying to do with whoever.
That's that new dance hall act, man.
Oh, you did. The Boba Fett. With Shaka Demus. Yeah, Shaka Demus and Boba Fett. Look, all you got to say is don't go that far, but to sit there and actually do petitions and get the government involved. Now you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up. You done fucked up, right? I just gotta hit y'all with the Bill Duke. You know you done messed up. Because now you got the government involved, and they're just waiting to sink their teeth into this because they hate video games. It's why their kids won't listen to them anymore. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what the thing is? The one thing about the government, man, and not to sound like some kind of tree hugger or nothing like that. But one thing is for sure. As much as the government may hate you, if they can get something out of you lucrative,
yes,
it's on.
Yes,
it's on. If they can drag you along and make money off of dragging you along, it's on.
Yes. And how will they do that, TRS? They'll put a tax on games that have microtransactions. I guarantee it. There'll be a tax. No, guess who's going to have to pay for that? Let me explain something to y'all. Okay. This is the 8th generation. The 7th generation, am I right? Yeah, this is the 8th generation. The 7th generation in gaming was the PlayStation 3, the Wii, and the Xbox 360. In the 7th generation of gaming, Sony didn't have like the server setup and all that other stuff that Microsoft had, because that's not their kit and caboodle. That's not their shebang. All right. So they went to developers and they said, look, if you want to post this DLC on our servers and with our system, you're going to have to pay us extra money. The developers and the publishers said, the hell we are, because, you're going to make us pay? This is going to have to go to the consumer. Sony said, we don't care. Somebody's going to pay for this. So developers went online and said, tippity tap, guess what? Sony's about to make us pay for bandwidth. Guess who's going to have to pay the charge, because we ain't paying that shit. And guess what happened? Sony backed off. But what if the developers never would have done that? What if they never would have done that?
Yeah.
And the charges just went up. You would be paying them. So all I'm saying to you is just have balance to what you do. We are the smartest consumer community out there. Don't do dumb stuff on your side, on your downtime, okay? Think about the ramifications of what you do if you go too far. And if you think about it, then you'll say, okay, I don't need to go that far. We don't need no petition. We just won't buy the game. And we won't have to get the government involved. Like TRS just told you. The government, look, ephedra. I don't want to turn this into Howard Stern or what's the other, Rush Limbaugh. I don't want to turn this into that. But just to crystallize it, because all gamers just don't play games and go pew 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 in the corner all day. Y'all have real lives, okay? I do recognize that a lot of us have real lives. So let me try to bring you to some other real life situation. Ephedra. Ephedra was the biggest drug out there for losing weight and getting energy and getting all pumped. Then the football player died because he was taking the ephedra, wasn't drinking no water. You know what I'm saying? And everybody said, oh, this is horrible. Ephedra is horrible. It's evil. It's the devil. Where ephedra, when you took it, they told you on the bottle, you need to drink a lot of water. I used to work out a lot and take ephedra myself and kept myself hydrated. But I'm not saying that to minimize anybody's life, but I'm just saying they told you what you needed to do. Because people petitioned and got the government involved, The government didn't say ephedra is horrible, we're taking it away from forever. No, guess what they did? They took it away from private people and they regulated it, and then they put tariffs, regulation over it, and then they taxed it and they put it back out in pharmaceutical form. That's all they did. You could get ephedra right now, but it's pharmaceutical form, which the government can regulate and make money off of. You can get the same, you can get the ephedra right now. That's all they did. And if you think that by you sitting there going to the government and writing them petitions is going to sit there and change it, no, here's what's going to happen. You're going to sit there and go and petition this. EA and other companies are going to say, well, damn, we can't have microtransactions. We can't, hang with the cost, the shifting costs and stuff like that, and what these investors are expecting. We're going to have to raise the price of games. And guess what?
Exactly.
Microtransactions are going to come back out again, but they're just going to come back out with a tax. That's all.
They're not going to say, let's eliminate this because it upsets the consumer. They're going to say, how else do we make the money?
Exactly. It's all your government is good for, baby. It's all they're good for. It's pilfering the people. Before you go run to Big Daddy, just think about it. Am I grown enough to handle this on my own? And a very feasible thing is for gamers to just get together and say, no, EA, if you release this game like that in this fashion, where like TRS said, I can, drop $40, $50 and I'm the weakest mug out here, and I can sit there and beat everybody with one press of the button. I'm not going to buy your game if it comes out like that, and don't buy the game. But these petitions and all this other stuff, no. So, well, that's it. I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to. See, I was trying to see. Look, I was on YouTube earlier. Somebody said, you remind me of the video game Stephen, what's his name? From ESPN? Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, it's like, you remind me. I said, okay. All right, I'll take that as a compliment.
Compared you to Stephen A. Smith. Okay.
I was like, damn, okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Take that. But yeah, those are anything else before we move on to the next one, TRS? I think you hit a lot of good points, man.
I'm actually interested in this subject. It's one of the first ones that I could actually get into and voice my opinion on it. So please, by all means, give me some more of that, because that's really where I wanted to go with a few of the segments that I actually had. So I'm actually enjoying your insight on this, and I'm glad to be here too. And there's plenty of cake, so I'm enjoying myself. Yeah, I got.
As long as we don't get Big Daddy involved, that's our name for the government, Big Daddy.
Sometimes I refer to him otherwise as Nasty Nate.
Nasty Nate and the real faces.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
real faces.
But you talked about the game. Now, I didn't get my hands. Really, man, I've been doing all this talking about games and all this other stuff, but I haven't gotten my hands on a lot of games. Because I've just been busy. But you played the demo, right?
Right.
Give us your thoughts on how the demo was, man.
Well, you got to start from the beginning. I'm not a PvP type guy.
Yep.
From Foundation, I'm more of an RPG element type of guy. So it for me, it was a bad experience for me. I jumped on with the almighty Poop Deck.
Okay.
And he had downloaded it and he suggested it for me because he wanted to play on it with me. So I downloaded it, and it's the way it took me back to the Call of Duty days when I was absolutely terrible. I mean, it's a fun game, but I was getting slaughtered because everything's just happening too fast. I don't really get a chance to stop and think like on Destiny. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't have any awesome superpowers yet. That was just a demo. I don't know what comes later. But when we went in, pretty much it was like a big sandbox filled with people just running around shooting each other, and it was just so fast that I just felt like I was getting slaughtered. I'm sure that if you give it some time, I might get a little bit better. But then again, I'm not really a PvP guy.
Yeah,
Destiny is one of the first, if not the first, PvP type game that I actually got into. But that's only because it had RPG elements. It has a story. you know, it has different upgrades and things like that. It got the geek part of me. It put me in there like I'm actually in an adventure and stuff like that. Star Wars doesn't feel like that way. Star Wars feels to me like a futuristic Call of Duty. It was real fast.
Okay.
Whatever the fast boots are on Destiny, everybody's got on the fast boots. They're running around. It was just the demo, and it was already elites.
Yeah.
Smashing us, man. Well, not smashing Poop Deck. He's a PvP guy, so any PvP you put him on, he smashes it. Wow. But me, I'm just running around getting popped every 5 minutes, every 3 minutes. And I think it would be fun if I got to see more of the story and everything like that. But it was pretty much a high speed Call of Duty for me.
Gotcha.
It was just putting me to shame.
Gotcha.
Good times.
Good times. Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not a PvP person either. I know that shocks you. I never was. Like, truth be told,
it still does, man. It still shocks me.
Let me tell some secrets that's gonna hit you in the soul. Back in the day, back in my early days, back in my New Age faction days, when I was sitting there writing letters and shit to
Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, the Bobby Kotick. Yeah. That is, to Scuzz Buckets or us. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to petition. Way back in the day, I was petitioning for. Now, this is what I was petitioning for, but I didn't get Big Daddy involved. I was petitioning to Microsoft. Because I'm like, look, y'all got all these goddamn commercials with Shaq and 90210 cast and all this other stuff. People carrying these 80-pound book bags and shit looking like they going to go fight a fire. Goddamn Ghostbusters. And y'all talking about these frag parties. How come there's no game out there with separate screen co-op? I was like, there's no game out there. That was my whole MO. That was my, every day I was going out there talking to gamers. If you want Microsoft to start implementing separate screen co-op, sign this. You know what I'm saying? I was hanging out at the GameStop like, little nerd that I was. And I got some information up and I built my MySpace page and all this crazy stuff. So fast forward, Gears of War came out and shut me the hell up. It took away my purpose. The Crackdown came out right after that, and it really shut me the hell up. But I hated multiplayer PvP. I hated it. To me, I just thought it was like an individual game mode that the focus should be on single player campaign. Okay, that was my thing. You know what I mean? And a lot of people right now are still focused on. But then as time developed, I started to see things differently, and then Rainbow Six Vegas came out and changed my whole perspective on multiplayer.
Yeah,
exactly. Changed my perspective. But I mean, I still prefer a PvE situation. Like, that's why I like Mass Effect 3's multiplayer so much, because you're competing, because whoever has this higher score gets the better loot, but you're fighting waves and waves of enemies. You know what I'm saying? And it's all about whoever gets the best score. So I'm not a PvP person either, but I'm willing to give it a try. I will tell you, TRS, you will enjoy that. You need to get, if you get Gears of War, man, Gears of War 4, join us on one of the Broadband Bullies PvP matches. I do like that Gears of War 4. It's not just F-boy talk where, like that duty. Yeah, let's get on that duty. No, it's not like that. It's Gears of War 4, because it's third person. You know what I'm saying? I think you'll like it a little bit more, even though you didn't have the greatest experience with Battlefront 2.
I got spanked.
You got spanked. But it's I'm not a big PvP person either. But Gears of War 4 is a good PvP game to play. I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. But but that's good. But you got a hold of the. Did you get a chance? Did the demo include the single player at all, or no?
I'm not sure, because I just jumped straight in with Poop Deck on that. So we just went straight in, ran around. Very open environment. I mean, I had fun. I'm the kind of guy, you could be slaughtering me and I'm still having fun. Yeah, so it was good, because eventually I'm going to find my niche, like I did on Destiny's Crucible and all that stuff. I found my niche. Yeah. So, eventually I find it. It's just usually different from everyone else, which is a good thing, because the way I kill people, nobody sees it coming, because they're used to seeing every other typical PvP guy. The way I do it, you don't see it coming, so I get my kills. Yeah. So it's all right, but I did get slaughtered. That you got to keep in mind. from the time I downloaded that demo to the time I stopped was 3 or 4 rounds.
Okay.
I didn't really get time to like get into it and play. Poop Deck is to this day still addicted.
Yeah.
So he's probably a god at this point because he's the PvP guy. It's funny you mentioned Vegas because I can actually name on one hand as a person who's not really into PvP the PvP games that I actually loved. Yeah. Like and I'm talking about the ones minus the RPG elements and the storyline. Yeah, that would be Rainbow Six Vegas, and that's it. No, I would say Rainbow Six Vegas and the original Halos.
Okay. You know what?
But look at Halo; it's a sci-fi story. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember y'all was playing that during Thanksgiving. I just like, yeah. But that's because I did not like Halo campaign. See, I'm a multiplayer dude. I mean, multi. Because I know Mass always laughs at me when I say this. I'm a multi-plat gamer. I'm a multi-plat gamer. When I did my debate with Super Jamaican, I kept saying multiplayer instead of multi-plat. Yeah,
that's gonna be my new album, multiplayer to the multi-plat. That's gonna be my new
multiple plats.
Yeah, multiple plats. That's the album title.
He just said, "Yeah, always, bro." I don't know why I do that, but I'm a multi-plat gamer. So when I used to see that Halo, I didn't like the campaign. I'm not gonna lie to you. Going back, I bought the definitive the Master Chief Collection, and truth be told, I'm actually having I was a lot more judgmental back then. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a little bit more open only because I have to, because I'm a gamer, and in order for me to even accept this shit, I gotta accept some of this non-innovative shit that's out there now. But back then I was a lot more picky on the games that I like. And I could not stand the Halo campaign. Particularly 2. I hated 2's campaign. So because I hated the campaign and I wasn't a PvP person, I just never got into the I never got into the PvP, but eventually I will. I'll probably do that too. You know what I'm saying? Try that out again. But I started liking Halo after Halo 3, the second half of Halo 3. The second half of Halo 3 was fire. Now, a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, Halo 3 was fire." Well, again, this is coming from somebody that did not like PvP and was not a fan of 1 and 2. The second half of Halo 3, I remember because I did a review on it, was fire. Love that game. And then ever since Halo 3, I've been able to get into the Halos. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's that, man. Well, thank you for your perspective, sir. All right. So, the last little thing, gaming-wise, that I wanted to talk about was Black Friday. Unless you had something else, TRS, that you wanted to get into, bro.
No, sir. Absolutely not.
Black Friday. All right, so, I took little Zai out.
The original Black Friday.
The original Black Friday. He's everything. He's all of it. Yeah, I took all of it out there. And he was licking his chops, man. He was trying to get out to the Juice is like, "What are you talking about, yo?"
Who's still licking his chops? What's he talking about?
Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with this dude?
Licking whose chops?
No, ain't none of that. No. Hey, I was at work today, right? And I was messing with this dude, my boy. I'm calling B. I got to be real careful because of the job and stuff like that. And he always messes with me, man. He always says crazy off the wall shit to me, like, "I know your wife punched you in your mouth last night. That's why you came here late and shit. You was trying to put makeup on your mouth." He always says crazy stuff to me and pisses me off. So he was asking me to help him with something, and I had to take him to someone else's desk. And he was like, he said, "I know I'm always picking with you, and I'm glad that you helped me out. I can't remember how the conversation went, but I ended up saying to him, "Oh, that doesn't matter. I was going to do something crazy to your ass anyway." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Hold on, that came out completely wrong, bro. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry." And he was like, and then everybody was like, "Yo, what did you gonna do something crazy to us? What?" I was like, "All right, never mind, forget it." But anyway, all right. So, Black Friday. I took Zaji down there to Black Friday, and Zaji's my son. Okay, the little genius, little boy genius, and we was just going to go pick out some games and stuff like that. So then on our way there, we ran past Walmart because the Walmart and the GameStop where I go is like right next door to each other. And I saw Muggs running into Walmart, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? So I ran into Walmart too. Yo, that was crazy. They had yellow tape everywhere. They blocked off the whole store. And they had state troopers there. They was ready to tase somebody in the throat, yo. They was not playing. These mugs, I mean, people was going to go ask questions, and you just saw the state trooper just step up to whoever, whoever stepped up to the, exactly. What are your thoughts? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they was going to tase somebody just for thinking up that mug, man. So me and him, we standing to the side, and then what they did is they had you go zigzag around all the lanes that they had wrapped yellow tape around, and then nothing was in this normal section. Like all the games that were on sale were like by the soaps. It was crazy, and they lined you up at the other end of the store by the electronics, and then they had you zigzag all the way around to the store until you got by the soaps, and then by the soaps was like games and like little crates and stuff like that, and you picked out your game, and they only let 4 people over by the games at a time, and then you went down to the next aisle and looked at some more games or whatever. So we ended up coming out of there unexpectedly with like we came out with 3 games. I got him Dishonored 2, and what the hell else? Dishonored 2 and Ghost Recon Wildlands, the latest one.
Right.
And then I got myself Mafia 3. Mafia 3 and Dishonored 2 were $12 a piece, brand new. Wow. And Ghost Recon Wildlands was $18. So we end up spending, no, I'm sorry, $20. So we ended up spending $44 for 3 games out of there. So then we hurried up and ran to GameStop because I didn't want to miss out on the deals over there. And then we end up picking up 8 more games and a 3 terabyte for like $120. You know what I'm saying? So, and those other 8 games included Gears of War 4. I got them Gears 4. I picked up the Fallout Definitive Edition for $30. Injustice 2 was $14, brand new. There was just game after game after game after game down there, super cheap, man. And even the used games, they were big title used games were knocked down to $8. And then my man's, you know, came up with he found me a 3 terabyte hard drive, because when you got the Xbox One X, you got all these additional textures and resolutions and all this other stuff. So it boosts the game up from a typical game, which is 50 gigs. It may boost it up to 100 gigs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my 1 terabyte hard drive that I got in here and my 1 terabyte hard drive that I had wasn't going to cut it. So what I did is my man found me some discontinued 3 terabyte hard drives for $64. And I got one. He had to call New York and get it, and it came down. And so now I use the 1 terabyte to now through the Xbox One X, I can take HD captures. You know what I'm saying? And then I hopefully can post them online. I haven't tried that out yet. But that was our Black Friday. So overall, we came out with 11 games for $165. Now, you can call me the cheapest dad on the planet, but his Christmas is done. It's over. It's over. I'm not buying his ass nothing else. So, did you get to check out any digital sales or anything for Black Friday or anything, yo?
Man, I stay away from Black Friday, man. As much as I want to know about the prices, I stay away from them. You got to keep in mind, I'm from an era where people were dying on Black Friday. I mean, one year they were stomping over people for Cabbage Patch Kids. The next year, a security guard got his jaw crushed for Tickle Me Elmo. So, and I was young when this was happening. So that kind of mentally scarred me. And I'm like, I'm not
PTSD, yo. Yeah, I feel you.
I'm just going to be thrifty all year round. I'm not going to Black Friday. Yeah, but I was curious because nobody ever mentions the deals on the consoles.
Yeah.
Nobody ever mentions that. Like, how much was like an Xbox One X on Black Friday?
No, they didn't drop the price, but the One S's were $189.
Okay.
So that's a steal. And I don't know if they had any credit boost, you know, like if you would have traded in your Xbox One Fat, I don't know if there was any boost to that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the One S's is $189. That's a deal. Look, y'all, if anybody that's listening, okay, let me say this. The Xbox, if you don't want to pay the $500 for the Xbox One X, consider that you can trade in whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? And even if that's not enough, if that's still too much scratch, that's okay. We understand it. I'm not going to try to talk about anything that's in anybody's pockets. But the Xbox One S, believe you me, if you still just have the fat, the Xbox One S is worth the investment. You should, everybody should get the Xbox One S like ASAP. Because you're really you're missing out on, you know, better. I mean, it has slightly better performance, slightly better. You know what I'm saying? But even if you have a 4K TV, that 4K upscale, if you don't, it's still, you know, it's still a better product. So it's definitely worth getting. You know what I mean?
How much are they running for now, and what kind of a discount can I get for my current Xbox One?
Well, they normally come. The Xbox One S normal price is $250. They dropped them all the way down to $189.
Ooh, done.
What'd you say? Stop the podcast. Yeah, they dropped them down to $189. That's a hell of a deal. What you're gonna get trade-in value for an Xbox One S? I mean, for Xbox One Fat, the original one, I don't know. But it's still worth the upgrade. I'm thinking anywhere between 50 to 75. Might be more. Might be more. If they're running a special. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you need your boy to help you out, you know, you just hit me up because I am a GameStop Premier, you know, owner.
You're still the lawnmower man.
I'm still the lawnmower man. I can still get you some points, brother. I can still get you some points in the bank. I can get you some bank. And I can definitely get your trading value up. You know what I mean? So, you know, you just let me know. Yeah,
we'll talk. That's a definite. We'll talk. I would absolutely be interested in that. And as far as you mentioned in Gears of War, I didn't realize it was so deep that everybody's doing that streamed recorded PvP, because I don't know if you remember it. I am a big fan of Gears of War. I've got all of them except for 4 on my hard drive right now. Yep. And I'm running through them like it's a series trilogy or something like that. I'm running through
exactly.
So yeah, I love Gears of War, but I never really got into the PvP other than playing with my son, which was actually fun.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that the PvP for that was so deep. You guys are doing stuff on that. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I was the broadband bullies really got me out on that. They're like, come on, you there's like, Most, you don't play no games. Come on. And I was like, yeah, they kind of right. So I was like, all right, I got to stop fraud and I got to get on this Gears. And I had a blast, man. I only had 3 kills after like 95 matches, but I felt pretty damn good about them kills. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. It's definitely fun. It's fun.
And that's how I am. I mean, you could be slaughtering me all day. I'm still having fun, because one thing about me, you may beat me, but you're going to beat me in a miserable kind of way, because I talk a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And I'm going to make you feel like you didn't win.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, I was on the line, man. I was on like, yeah, see, I got you in the back. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there crouched. I ain't doing shit. I'm just sitting there crouched. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I hope nobody sees me. Yeah, that motherfucker just got slaughtered. Lost a kneecap.
You can kill me 9 times out of 10, and that one time that I kill you instantly becomes your celebrity roast.
Exactly. You're like when they said Flavor Flav looked like a skeleton with electrical tape wrapped around his ass. That's exactly. Hey, yo, TRS, that's exactly the same thing I did. Yo, I'm sitting there yelling. I know Z muted my mic like, man, if this mug don't shut up, I'm like, yo, Z, I just shot you in the face. And he's like, yo, this cat only got he was like, yo, Moss, you only got 3 kills? You was doing all that yelling? I was like, but you don't understand. I was
I have fun with it, man. I have fun.
Yeah.
I'm coming to your house tonight after the game to give you the bullets back.
Yeah.
You know. Oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a blast. It's definitely fun. It's definitely fun. Rolling with your squad, you know what I'm saying? Land mugs out. It's definitely a blast. I definitely recommend Gears of War. If you got an Xbox, you should have Gears of War 4. Definitely. Yeah, Yeah, that was my Black Friday experience. Got us some good games, you know what I'm saying? And
one day I'll
one
do
day,
it.
man, that's it. Yeah, he's his Christmas is done. He's happy. It don't take a lot to satisfy him, so I'm happy, man. So he got his I got me 2 games out of the deal in a what's it called, and all the other 9 games were for him, you know. Oh, he got that Sega. He liked that Sonic. I'm not a big Sonic dude. Are you a big Sonic?
Sonic?
The newest one.
No, I'm not a big Sonic dude. I used to be back in the Genesis days because I was what's out now. I was wishing it was coming out back then.
Yeah.
Like the 3D Sonic and all that. I was looking forward to that, but by the time it came out, I was like, yeah. I'm on some other stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm not the biggest Sonic dude, but he wanted that new Sonic, so I got him the newest Sonic, and he's good to go. So you know, that's that. All right, man. Last thing I want to wrap up with, and then we gonna roll out of here because you know we some working cats. We got to pay these bills. Is
gotta get the money up for that S.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Yo, movie time, man. It's movie time, brother. Now, you know I done seen like a gazillion movies. So, yeah, and that's how we do it here. You know what I'm saying? We wrap it up with a movie review because we some action movie buffs. Yes, we some nerds here, okay? So that's what we do, ScramPunks. We've been watching movies since, what was it, the Swamp Thing and stuff, you know, and the cinema, the Cinemax box with the gritty lines. All right, I'm sorry if you don't like it. All right, so it's movie review time. Now, we got a whole bunch of movies, TRS. I got Atomic Blonde. I got the movie with your boy Jackie Wu, Wolf Warrior 2. There's just been a bunch of stuff out. But because I'm gonna go with the latest and greatest because I saw that Infinity War trailer. Did you see that Infinity War trailer? Yeah. Yo.
Yes. Oh, man. Yo. And I'm a fan of that. I used to read. I read that.
Yeah.
When I was younger. So I'm a big fan of how they're going to do the interpretation of that. So yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
And in light of that, because we got the Infinity War coming up, and we know that DC is trying to ramp up their movie production.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, I took the wife out to go see Justice League. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Because she's a big time. We'll say that again.
I heard it was fire.
Surprising. All right. Well, stay tuned.
You're right. I'm down to hear what you got to say.
Well, hold that thought. Hold that thought.
It was a hot movie, but.
And my wife, granted, my wife likes to see people die on screen.
Action Jackson. I was about to say.
She's Action Jackson. Yeah.
Action Jackson.
She only has 2 things that she says when she's at the movie theater. She either says, "Yo, this is weak," or she goes, "Oh, that was hard. That was hard. That was hard." And all through the goddamn Justice League movie, her ass was clapping like a baby seal. This is hard. This is hard. This is hard. And I couldn't understand what she thought was so goddamn hard because I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand the movie. I'm sorry, man. I couldn't stand. Look, here's the problem with the movie and previous movies. And previous DC movies that have come out, like Batman versus Superman, was garbage. Except for Ben Affleck's part. Ben Affleck was a good-ass Batman.
That still shocks me to this day. I haven't watched a movie with him as Batman yet, and it still bothers me that he's Batman. But everybody keeps saying he's a good Batman.
He was a good-ass Batman in Batman versus Superman. That's what made that movie bearable, where I didn't want to throw up in my mouth, okay?
He actually is a good Batman. I got to see this.
And then came... what was that with Will Smith and all them in there? I forgot. Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, yeah.
Okay, and that was trash. All right, that was just all over the that was all over the place. It was like it was real dramatic more than it was action, and they was trying to be funny, and then they had this Joker, and it was just all over the place, and they didn't really do it right. You know what I'm saying?
Did they show Harley naked in that?
They might as well have. It might have helped. I don't know, but you know it definitely wasn't what I was expecting it to be.
I got a lot of catching up to do. I got to watch all these new DC movies to include Suicide Squad. I got to catch all up with them, and I also got to see. I still haven't seen some of the Marvel movies that have come out that did involve the X-Men.
Oh, that's an interesting point that you brought that up because I've never seen all of it. I've never seen any of the Iron Men. And my wife would always say, I remember when I took her to the last Marvel movie where Iron Man had to call down the Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
And it was fighting the Hulk and shit.
Yeah.
And that mother, man, I thought we were going to get kicked out the theater. Yo, that's hard as hell. Yo, that's hard as hell. Yo. I was like, man, if you don't sit your remedial ass down, you look like you should be wearing a helmet right now. Stop it, please. She was going nuts. She loves Tony Stark. She was
up in front of the screen
dancing.
She was
you know what I'm saying?
Pointing at the screen.
Doing Morris Day in the time splits
right.
And shit. You know what I'm saying? I said, if you don't sit your... I said, like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you, man? She was like, oh, you don't understand. I love Tony Stark. Iron Man, that's my dude. He called down the Hulkbuster. You understand? I was like, okay, all right. My bad, baby. I'm sorry.
I'm going to call down the Hulkbuster.
If you don't sit your ass down. Yeah. So,
Wife buster.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta watch how we say that, man. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That almost gave a nickel.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that would have been That would have been Canadian bills.
Wife buster.
That's the name of the show next week.
Yeah, that's the new name of the show, man.
It's the Wife Buster. So anyway, are we losing viewers? And they're like, no, man, I'm not for this. We took down Matt Lauer today. Don't ever say Wife Buster. Yeah.
Don't ever say Wife Buster.
Hey, yo, I want to tell you, man, ever since I started, kicking it with the broadband bullies and stuff, we doing our thing, man. Z has like a tremendous following. And I love them all. But the haters, the people that don't like, man, these weirdos and the shit that they come up with just to hate on you is some of the crazy. That's one day I'm going to talk about that on one of the shows. If I can just go to some of my older tweets and stuff like that and the stuff that I get from some of these weirdos, it's ridiculous. But that's something they would say to me. Man, don't say the Wife Buster. Don't even bring that up. You know what I'm saying? That's something that they would say to me in a tweet and shit. So
it's a suit, y'all. It's just
a suit. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's an imaginary suit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody flies from the sky to bust up somebody's wife. Okay? It just
yet.
Yeah.
You give me time. Give me time.
Oh man. So yeah. Anyway. So what the fuck was I saying, dude? See, this is why you get me in trouble. Oh yeah. So Justice League. Oh no. So then you had the Suicide Squad that really wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That really it was better than Batman versus Superman, but toilet water's better than Batman versus Superman.
Wow.
So then you had Wonder Woman. Now I liked Wonder Woman because I thought the action was bad. Them Amazon women on there, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yo. And the action on there was up to par. The action on there was tight. And then the story was pretty good. It ran a little bit long. They could have cut it down a little bit. But to me, that was where DC wanted to hang its hat as far as story and action. Chop down the story just a little bit, but you had a real good movie, okay? So then I brought out my faith in, what do you call it? In Justice League. It's like they said, man, we did too good. We did too good with Wonder Woman. We aim to fail, dude.
It's what we do.
It's what we do. The story, whoever wrote Justice League had to have lobotomy done multiple times to just one side of the brain. It was so dull and so dry, and then this is the thing. We just saw Thor Ragnarok not too long before that, right? Now the Thor movies to me were, the two previous ones were garbage. I really didn't care for them. This one, I think Marvel and whoever was behind it realized, look, we got to give Thor, we got to put it in its own lane. So they decided to make it more humorous instead of serious, but still like keep the action in there,
right?
And keep some badass action in there. And it worked. It worked. And it was the best Thor movie. It was a really good Thor movie, okay? Sometimes they overdid it a little bit with the comedy, but it was funny. And then you got Jeff Goldblum in there with his little sarcastic, dry humor ass.
Right,
And it fit right in with the movie. Exactly. 412. So
right? 412.
See, where's Jay Wags at? He'd appreciate that. So because of that, I was like, okay, that's cool. Now you fast forward to Justice League, and then their comedy relief was The Flash. It was so corny. The Flash was corny. And I don't want to give away any spoilers. Basically, it was them getting their ass kicked until they got Superman to come around in the last 5 minutes. That's basically what the movie's about. That's all it is. Them getting their asses handed to them all day until Superman comes around, and then when Superman came, the rainbows came out. That's it. Superman helped them kick ass so you pretty much made everybody look useless. They made everybody look useless for the hour and 45 minutes, and then the last 5 minutes, Superman finally comes around and decides to join you, and you whoop everyone's ass, and then it's over. The writing was horrible. The action was subpar. I will admit, when Superman came down, he didn't seem cheesy. It was a plausible Superman. So the only positive that I can pull out of that movie was they didn't make Superman look too cheesy, except for there was a part where, if you followed the story, Superman was supposed to be dead. Somehow he comes back, and then he goes home, and he's talking, and it's all this dramatic stuff. But they make it short. They make it short. I will say that they make it short. And then the Justice League is doing their thing, and they're getting their asses handed to them all over the place. And then at 5 minutes where Superman comes in, it is decent. But then, I don't feel the badassery from Batman. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't feel... I somewhat feel the badassery from Wonder Woman. Somewhat.
What about Aquaman?
Aquaman was just eye candy for the women. Okay? That's all he was. And... Cyborg was just a money dump for all the CGI. I don't even know what his purpose was.
Was he the token dump?
Yeah, he was the token dump. I don't even know what his purpose was. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have slapped my ugly mug up in there and just had me digitized for $55 million. I don't even get his purpose. So I don't know. The Justice League out of 5-man Twitters gets 1.5. It gets 1.5. 1.5, man. No, I'll give it 2. It'll get 2, man. No, 1.5. I'll stick to 1.5. It was not. They had a good springboard with Wonder Woman. Why couldn't you have the good storytelling in Wonder Woman translated over here, and then keep that same action direction too? Bring that over. You know what I'm saying? And make them look. I mean, I get it. There's conflict, and you want there to be scenes of desperation, and then Superman comes and says, I get that. But the progression of that whole situation none of those superheroes felt like they were worth anything except for Superman. So you made everybody look like shit, opposed to the Marvel things where. These motherfuckers, these bugs is badass. They might
got something.
Yeah, everybody got something. Now, there might be calamity where, it may seem like it's getting too much for them, but everybody feels like they're badass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's DC's problem. They don't know how to make anybody feel badass or look badass like that except for Wonder Woman. And that's why I say in that movie, the only person that was looking badass to a degree was Wonder Woman. And that's bad. Because even in the comics, even though Batman ain't got no powers, like he said in the movie, what's your superpower? I'm rich. And then there's just shit coming all out of the place. Batman can hold his. It felt like Batman was going to get crushed at any moment.
Every time Superman would have never said that shit. Just to give y'all a heads up. I'm rich. That's how. He would have never said that.
And the storytelling, and then they tried to make the Flash was pointless.
I was gonna ask you because whenever I see the commercials and stuff, and the trailers. I watched the trailers on YouTube. The Flash kind of reminded me of a corny answer to Spider-Man.
Exactly. God damn! And this man didn't see the movie.
That's what it reminded me of. I was like, is he supposed to be the DC version of Spider-Man, the young Spider-Man they have on Avengers? It's like, come on, man.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what it was.
Corny.
that's exactly what it was.
Why does his suit look like Cyborg? What the fuck? Oh, Nickel,
I know. I'm sorry. We're going to do better next broadcast. This is the first time we've been together in a while. We try to keep the foul language. I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting monetized for this yet. Only have like 3 subs.
It's been a long time for me. Before I got here, I was in a dumpster out back.
No, man. No, man. Come on, man.
My mouth was dirty. Yeah, I got to get back on point. You know.
But no, I was highly disappointed. My wife liked it. But again, my wife jumps up and claps at a baby like a baby seal and dances like Morris Day at the Times over Iron Man. So I went back and watched the Iron Man. I said, I wanted to see what the hell. Iron Man is badass. Iron Man is badass. I watched all 3 of them back to back.
You might not let her. You might not get her to watch Ip Man series because she might explode.
Oh, dude!
You see it?
I had her and my mother-in-law down here watching the Raid multiple times. They was like, "Can you put that back on?" They're both movie buffs, and they both like to see people die. They just love to see people die on screen. So I had the Raid on. I had Yip Man. I had that on. My mother-in-law is a big-time Bruce Lee person. I said, "Mammy, Bruce Lee was back in the 70s. Wait till you get down with Donnie Yen.
Right?
Wait till I put some Donnie Yen in your life." And she was like, "Yo." So she'll come down, she'll hobble her little ass down the hill every Saturday. And shit, it'll take her like 45 minutes to come down the hill. But she'll come down that hill. "Hey, yo, you gonna play some more of that Raid?" I was like, yes, Mom. Yeah, we're gonna play some more of that Raid, man. Yeah. Exactly. And we kicked my wife out and shit. Yeah. It's wonderful, man. Yeah, but that's my review for Justice League. I give it 2 man Twitters. And y'all probably sit there thinking, what is man Twitter? Go to pntsnetwork.com. Look up at our previous episodes. You will find out what man Twitter is. That's your homework assignment until next week. I'm not telling y'all shit. Nichols.
Which reminds me, one last thing which reminds me. Do you still think it's possible for the immaculate intro?
Oh no, it's coming, brother. It's coming, baby. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, we normally have an intro to the show. We had it. See, that's the weird thing. This is our first live episode, and we had an intro for all the pilots, but that's because of some technical things I got to work on. I got to upgrade it, machinery, and it ain't working right. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, we got a treat for y'all next week, man.
The greatest crooner of all time. Yeah.
They said he gave Luther troubles back in the day, man. Said he gave Luther a ran for his money. Like Luther didn't almost sing because this dude was out here spitting bars, man.
Man, it's time.
Yeah, it's time. So that's my movie review. Is there anything else that you want to follow up on TRS after that, or?
What do we got? What do we got? How many minutes we got on here?
17 more minutes, 17. Or less, whatever you want to do. It's up to you.
Just a quick public service message about something that's been bothering me for the past 2 weeks now that I'm really getting tired of. You put me on to the what is it? App Gamer.
Yeah, Appy Gamer. Yeah.
Appy Gamer, and I love it.
Okay.
I'm loving it, but something actually has been happening for the past 2 weeks that has really been getting on my nerves. And come on, gamers, come on now. I call this report "Online Gaming Ecstasy minus the Vaseline." Okay. No, of course, family. This is the worst skill of PvP Punishers. Severe Punisher, nonetheless. TRS Fusion Wolf. That's who's speaking right now. Now, I was researching articles, and while I was doing such for the future episodes of this illustrious show, I currently, for 2 weeks now, kept getting pop-ups on every page of every site, and blog that was just involved with games. Like everything that was involved with games, I was going into it, different blogs on different things. The main thing that was attacking me was this thing on App Gamer and the blog. The pop-up was the exact same pop-up every time. It was entitled live stream and chat to meet new friends, add followers, and get gifts for money rewards. Now here's the catch. This ad had pics, and all the pics were designed to attract the lovers of women.
Yeah.
Like all female seductive pics, posing, looking cute and what have you. So basically, in short, it's an advertisement, like it's advertising like a Facebook type site, but with a meet the sexy ladies kind of format. For gamers, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, now, okay. Are we in the advertisement business still overflowing with the image that all gamers are sex thirsty, pimply teens or lonely grown up pervs? Now, geeky suburbanite kids who always talk about chicks, and you can use chicks to advertise anything to get us on. I mean, or like the lonely overweight gamer, like shown on South Park. Episode, stuff like that. Now, using my video game information sites to advertise booty, man. This has to stop. I don't need to be sidetracked and tempted by seduction while I'm trying to get my knowledge sharpened. I don't care for distractions much. Shout out to Rip Van Wallace for his
Appy Gamer. If hey, look, y'all got to do better with that. I don't know why. I've noticed that too with Appy Gamer. Like, I thought their shit was targeted, and I'm like, but then they started targeting all these scarves and shit to me, and I'm like, I don't want no goddamn scarves. So either their algorithm's all wrong or bad or whatever, because they try to use stuff to advertise that they think that you follow. But I'm like, this in no way, shape, or form is anything that I want. So Appy Gamer's algorithm is all wrong, or they've just picked some horrible advertising partners, and they do need to fix that, man. That is a problem.
Just my basic message was just leave us alone, Big Brother, or corporate elite daddy, or whatever you want to call yourself this decade. You know what I mean? This is TRS Fusion Wolf. Kill yourself.
Yeah, please.
Please.
We don't.
Enough. I mean, gee, everything. I'm not trying to get that information while I'm trying to get that information. You know what I mean? It's like. Oh,
I'm not trying to get down like that.
It was so frequent. That's my point is, it was so frequent. It was killing me to the point where it kept popping up while I was reading.
Yeah, I have noticed that too. Now, what I have done is, did you create an account
for Appy?
Yeah. Oh, you did. Oh, you still was getting that. Oh.
And it was certain sections, like, they divided up in certain little sections, and there was one main section that I have that has all my categories that I want to read about and stuff like that. And that one during that time just kept popping up. Oh, they could meet this chick if you want to be a real gamer. You want to beat Destiny? Come to my house.
I know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you said, and apparently they don't do the research. The average age of gamers are in their 30s. You know what I'm saying? With a job, they're not looking to do some Zelda cosplay with some chick online. You know what I'm saying? That's not we pay bills or whatever. We're not the nerds that you think we are. We just like other forms of entertainment. We talked about this before. How people rag on people that play video games. That profounds me so much, because it's a shame that I play video games for hours, but you can sit your fat food grubbing ass on the couch for 9 hours and watch Game of Thrones. And do nothing. And that's okay, but I'm actually doing something physical, like I'm interacting with the game, I'm using my brain and all this other shit. Your ass is just slumped on the couch, scratching your navel and shit, eating Cheetos, and you're okay. Yeah, exactly.
And you still want to comment on me because I'm a gamer.
Looking like you're in your 9th trimester and shit. You know what I'm saying? You okay.
Your TV. Look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so mature.
Yeah, exactly. But there's something wrong with me because I want a game for a few hours. You know what I mean? Now, me and my man, trust me. Me and the wife, we done had this conversation 1,000 times. You in that game again? I said, well, you in the goddamn Game of Thrones again. What are you doing besides watching somebody else's thing? I said, at least I'm sitting out here making something happen and shit on the screen. You just sitting here scratching yourself.
I can pick up the device and control what's going on the screen. I'm the protagonist. Oh, I'm so immature.
Exactly.
Compared to you just staring at the screen, gaining cows.
Yeah, exactly. You watching the Kardashians and shit. Your shit is so ingenious. Come on. You're so productive. Get the hell out of here.
Watching everybody else do something. Yeah. Oh, that's so much.
He does that big daddy mentality. Help! We need help with these loot boxes. Help us, Hawaii. Like, sure, we're gonna help you. We're gonna tax the hell out of that shit. But yeah, man. That's what we got to deal with as gamers, unfortunately, and people don't put that in proper perspective. Hey, when I'm at work, man, I let people know. I remember I used to have people come to me and say, you're going to go play games with the 12-year-olds. I said, you're going to sit there and rub up one off on your mom's couch while you're watching whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing something productive. So why is it so frowned upon that I'm playing games, but you can binge watch TV 24 hours? And I binge watch TV too, but I don't sit there and I don't make fun of people that binge watch TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched the whole season of Stranger Things 2, season 2, in like one day. But
I'm not too sure about guys, but I think the main thing with women is that it's not the fact that you're playing the game and she's watching the TV. It's the fact that what she likes, you're not all up in it too.
Yeah, it's definitely a possessive thing.
It's like, I waste my time watching TV just like you play your game, but when I do it, I want you there with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, even if it's something you don't like. In my face,
you must be here,
because you can get up from whatever I'm doing and you have your own hobby and stuff like that. No, I'm supposed to be your hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
You
live, breathe, and eat me. Trust me, I get it. And then
I want my time from you.
Yeah.
Not having time from you.
Oh, trust me, this this whole content creation thing is new. Trust me, bro. There is a new battle every day. There is a new battle every day, and what I try to minimize that, and I try to make lemons out of lemonade. We go see a movie every weekend. Something where there's a whole bunch of people that's dying. There's travesty in the village or some shit like that. Something to keep her happy, and then I'll go and report on it on the next podcast. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
we make inroads somehow. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to establish with Chicken Hawk. Yeah. Shout out to Chicken Hawk. I'm trying to establish, going to the movies and doing reviews. Eventually, I'll have my thoughts on those movies because we're going to be watching them like a damn marathon. In Penn Hills, there's a $5 theater that plays recent movies for $5. Yeah. Oh, Captain Cheap.
Yeah. No, hey, do what you. Hey, man, look, man.
I'm going in.
We usually go. We go on Saturdays, but sometimes if I can get out of work early, we go on $5 Mondays. Yep. Shoot, ain't nothing wrong with it. And the popcorn's free.
Ooh.
The popcorn is free. So
that's nice.
Yeah, I ain't worried about it, bro. So all right, man. But no, I'm glad you brought that up because I did notice it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't been on Appy Gamer as much because I'll find the subject matter, because I try to drop videos at least 5 times a week. At the very least, and I'll find a subject, and sometimes I'll just find like 5 subject matters all at once, and then I'll just drop video after video after video and just time space them out. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, I haven't been on Appy Gaming the way that I want to be on there, but I'm going to get back on there and start looking at some of those articles. But yeah, when I was on Appy Gamer, man, yeah, all that crazy stuff was popping up. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, folkies. Well, it's not a full hour, but it's winding down, man. We're going to have to end this. So I appreciate all of y'all for coming out today. I appreciate for y'all joining us on our first full episode of ScramPunks. I hope y'all like the variety. I hope y'all like the difference. We get a little silly over here sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't all about the console war over here. You know what I mean? Give you a little break, break it up for you a little bit. the MM2K movie review at the end, and the TRS with the filthy apps, you know, the filthy app segment, you know what I'm saying?
App review.
You know what I'm saying? We'll bring in the wife buster next week too, you know what I'm saying? And then we got a killer intro for y'all. My bad. So Mini Bars is going to do the intro for us next week. Yeah, please stay tuned for that, you know. And we out, man.
We need those Killer Hill picks too, man.
Oh no, we need. Hey, I'm gonna bring Killer Hill back, man. Yo, Killer Hill. I don't want to hear it no more, bro. I got your picture on the thing. Nature Boy, we get it, cause he's riding Thunderbolt somewhere. But
oh yeah.
But Killer Hill, there's no excuse for this, bro. I don't want no more messages. Yo, I got restless leg syndrome. Because I know you watching this. I know you listen. I got restless leg syndrome, so I can't get on the computer. I've never heard that before.
I'm sorry, bro. I was hungry, so I ate some sleep.
Yeah. I'm not trying to hear that. We sending you links 3 weeks in advance. You're going to get roasted, okay? You're going to get dealt with like Flavor Flav wrapped in electrical tape, okay?
Dude, the Rip Van Wallace celebrity roast. It's coming.
It's coming, bro. It's coming. I'm sorry. We're going to pull that envelope. So that's it for the show. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Again, we're going to submit this for iTunes, everything, man. You know, we're glad for the interaction live. Thank you, Triple B, for supporting the first show, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. No Xbox Juice, the real masculine, and of course the celebrity, my man's Garrett from King's Blood Gaming. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate it. Go to the pntsnetwork.com. And, yo, please do me a favor. Follow your boy, TRS the Fusion Wolf. He's at TRS ScramPunks on Twitter. Follow him. Follow his page. It's TRS Fusion Wolf. All that stuff, we're going to have all that information out for you because eventually the show is going to transition to him, okay? All right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate y'all. And we out.
Peace.